is sales enablement and why should I care about it?
I truly believe that sales enablement speaks to how you power a sales force at scale. And what I really mean by that, powering a sales force means what are all of the things that help these people to do their job, do it well, to be able to meet the company's goals. Most of what's out there is useless if you don't have the brilliant basics: prospecting, pitching, negotiating, closing, getting the check.
What exciting things have you seen in the sales enablement technology space?
So I would say the three that have made the biggest impression on me, right, would be automation, which is a function of technology, ever-growing competition, and globalization. When you talk about automation, and in every business I've ever been in, that business was always marching toward more technological enablement 100% of the time, because it's just wise to do that. It brings great returns. And what that means for sales enablement is you got to go up the funnel. I would also say that starting a business is easier than it ever has been. Barriers of entry are low, 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 low. I mean, I was someone who, and so the barriers are so low that everyone's getting in. No one's business is unique. It's all about execution. And that's why sales, you see it rising up. People are talking about it more. And then globalization, because you're not just competing with folks in Albuquerque or Miami. You're competing with Singapore. You're competing with India as they rise. You're competing with Ghana as they rise. And they want the same dollars that you want for that organization. And they have just been so impactful. And a lot of it just has to do with the fact that everyone agrees this is the priority. We're going to get this done. We're going to give these folks the resources they need. So the biggest impact is just like the water is greener where you, the grass is greener where you water it. Sales enablement will have more impact when you're giving it resources and priority. Because oftentimes the perspective of the executives is very different than how things are landing with frontline salespeople. And I believe that the magic in driving alignment for sales enablement is really understanding both, bringing those two together and making sure that everyone is in the boat. This stuff is important, but you really got to dig more into the operation of what's happening every day. And you got to know it. I don't care if you're the CEO, the founder, you have to know what is happening every day, because you're so exposed when something goes wrong or someone drops a ball. So thinking from a strategic perspective, like what are the backup plans that you have in place? And a lot of times it's not so much about like a magic product. It's really, what is the accountability that you have around the product?
Where does the actual customer fit into all this strategy?
At the end of the day, I mean, they have the golden egg. They are always the target of strategy. And all the strategy does, at the end of the day, all strategy does is help you to prioritize how to choose the right customers and make sure that you're focusing on engaging them to influence their behavior, their buying behavior, so that they purchase what you have. That if any strategy that's doing that, it has failed. And it is the only thing that strategy should be focused on doing.
This is from James. What is the common trait you see in the best salespeople, and what drives
Tenacity
them?
and grit. That's it. If you got that, you can sell eventually. It may take you longer. Everyone does not have a silver tongue. Some companies, a lot of old school companies, sad to say, but they were very like much into like where people looked and dressed. It depends on who you're working for, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the grittiest people always end up winning. One of the things that makes me proud about sales is that I think is one of the top fields where people are able to change their economic or their socioeconomic mobility, because it doesn't have a lot of barriers about like where you went to school and how much your parents have. A lot of these people who have a very academic way of looking at business have gotten into sales teams and they're messing it up, because it is not that complicated. If you are spending years getting basic sales skills in place, you have the wrong people making some of those decisions.